Hey Leah, so I'm going to give you a little story this time. It was a cool story. I kind of liked it. You may like it, I don't know. It's a little scary. It's got some scary parts to it, so I'm going to ask your mom to look at it first and make sure it's appropriate for your age level. Anyway, the story takes place in South Africa, and there was a little village in South Africa, and there was a man that lived there whose name was Anelli, and he had a little boy named Fanyana. Fanyana had just got his first ukulele, and he was learning how to play it, but he wasn't very good. And he played very loud and all the time, and he used to drive people crazy because it was so bad, and they would hold their ears and run when they saw him coming. Well, Anelli had a kind of a bad habit too. He had this magic wand that could make things disappear. And he was a little bit of a prankster, so there'd be a woodsman out sawing and trying to cut a tree down and sawing, and Nellie would sneak up behind him and touch the saw with his magic wand, and poof, it would disappear. Nellie thought that was great fun, but the woodsman didn't think it was so funny. Or there'd be a laborer out working all day in the hot sun, and he would take a break and get a bottle of water and sit under a tree to get a drink, and Anelli would sneak up behind him with his magic wand and touch the water bottle, and poof, no water bottle. And again, Anelli thought that was great fun, but the man doing the work didn't think it was so much fun. This went on until finally the villagers decided to throw out Anelli and Fanyana. Get out of here, they said. Get out of the midst of us. Go live on the outskirts of town like the outcast you are. We don't ever want to see you again. So they left, and they were, of course, very sad. Well, there was a legend in this town of a monster, a terrible monster by the name of Abiyoyo. Abiyoyo was reportedly 100 feet tall, and he could grab a cow and eat it like you would a raspberry. And he used to eat people too. And he would smash buildings and houses just for the fun of it. He was not a nice fellow at all. But it had been so long since anyone had seen him that people began to think maybe there was no such thing. Maybe it was just a story. One day the sun rose on the village, and a terrifying darkness appeared as if something was blotting out the sun. And they heard a frightful noise, like giant footsteps on the ground, with every step an earthquake. Boom, boom, boom. And they looked out their windows, and it was Abiyoyo coming down toward the village. Everybody shrieked in fear, grabbed their most precious belongings, and started to run for their lives. Except for Anelli and Fanyana. Anelli looked at his son Fanyana and said, "We have nothing to lose. Let's just go meet him." And they went toward the monster. The villagers, when they saw that, felt bad that they had been so mean to the two, and they said, "Don't do that, don't do that. Come, come, run for your lives." But they went toward the monster anyway. Just then, Fanyana got out his ukulele and started to play a little song. The song went like this. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. Well, Abiyoyo had never heard anybody sing a song to him before, certainly not a song about him. He kind of liked it. Something odd happened to his face. He didn't know what it was. It was a smile. Abiyoyo had never smiled before. And he began to dance. And as he danced, the more he danced, the faster played Fanyana. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. Pretty soon, Abiyoyo got very tired and he lay down. When that happened, it gave the opportunity for Anelli to use his magic wand. He sneaked up behind him and touched him, and poof, a great cloud covered the mountain. And when the cloud blew away, there was no Abiyoyo. In his place was a little blonde puppy that wagged his tail and smiled and did a little dance with his feet. It was so glad to see Anelli and Fanyana. The villagers saw the whole thing, and when they saw that, they cried, "Come back and join us, you two. We're sorry that we were mean to you. Come on back. Bring your new puppy and bring your ukulele too. We'll be glad to hear it." And they went back to the village and lived happily ever after. Well, I hope you liked the story.